So intro. Do you want to introduce yourself to the people that may be watching?
Uh, I'm Peak. That's what everybody knows me as. Peekaboo Kid or Peak or Peaky. King Peak for some, Daddy for others. I don't know. Whatever anyone wants to call me.
Okay. What server are you in?
The Great Server 46, with the Great Clan CBZ, where we have good leadership, great players. It's like a family. So everybody has fun and everybody pretty much gets along. It's pretty chill.
I think that's a good promo. Let's see. So we can just get started now. Pretty sure everyone knows me by now. Yeah. So the premise of this video, we're basically just going to, just rank all the survivors in a tier list. Uh, Do you once again? So just to clarify, do you wanted to do it based on individuals or based on like formation, chemistry, survivor chemistry?
Um, hmm. I think individual would be good with a like an explanation on like chemistry.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think we can do that then.
Like, hey, this one's decent with this person, you know?
Okay. So, okay. I mean, I guess with that said, we can just get started then. So, the first person here is Axel. Where would you rank Axel?
Axel
Yeah.
is gonna be one of the best survivors in the game. So he's gonna be up top. Um, he's pretty hard to obtain as it is now.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get his full chemistry and everything with Tyrese and Maggie, Melee, you're gonna be pretty it's gonna be pretty much like the Rick Carl Andrea form, but they hold more troops and they have a little bit better skills, in my opinion.
Okay.
So I'd put them at like the OP section.
Yeah. I mean, I strongly agree with that list as well. Personally, I think they're probably the second strongest in the entire game right now. So that's for sure it has to be up there.
Yeah, they're gonna be the perfect counter against that Ezekiel that's running shooters and tyrant forms. So
Are you
a lot of people are gonna be in trouble.
are you sure they can beat Ezekiel like a maxed out 140 Ezekiel?
Um, so just because an Ezekiel's maxed out doesn't mean it's invincible. Um, Usually we associate that because like we look at Wales 140 Ezekiel and they have all their max tech and everything like that, max dog, max vehicle, but that just depends on the player. So like there's people in other servers that I've beaten that have 140 Ezekiel, but their dog isn't better than mine or their war cart's not better than mine. So if you're not or their specialization's not better than mine. So if you're not upgrading the right things to be as strong as you can get, then just having a 140 Ezekiel doesn't make you invincible.
Okay. So, but let's say they're both equally balanced. Let's say they both have the same stats. Do you really think this formation can still beat it?
Melee does beat shooters. Um, so yes, I do think it can beat it because they're gonna hold more troops as is. Um, they're gonna hold their like currently, for an example, a maxed out form with Governor Dwight and Negan hold more troops than a maxed out 140 Ezekiel form with Jesus, Michonne, and Ezekiel. So they're going to hold more troops. They have just as good skills, and you're also going to have that melee versus shooter counter as well.
Okay. I mean, I've never seen it uh done yet, but I guess hopefully in the future something like that crosses over where we see people
Some's got to
test
beat
it out.
Ezekiel soon
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they,
I agree.
it's to the point where like if you don't have an Ezekiel or whatever, you're kind of just playing to play, you know. So
Yeah. I agree. So the next one is Alpha. Where would you rank her?
Alpha is like the free to play princess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So she would be in the strong category. She's not OP, but she's also not terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she'd probably be on the borderline of like decent and strong, but for like free to play, she's the ideal survivor you want to level up first. um, because she's one of the first ones you're gonna get too.
Okay, so like early seasons, people starting out, the people that are starting out should focus on, using Alpha as their F1.
Yeah, as your F1.
Okay, so what season would you recommend people switch from Alpha to like the Tyrant Squad? Like what season?
Um, that depends on your tech. So luckily, Whispers can run melee shooters and cav in their formation. Of course, their buffs go to melee troops as well. So going with that, if you want to switch to tyrants, whenever you start working on your shooter tech, and your shooter tech gets above your melee tech, is when I would make that switch.
Oh, okay, okay,
So if you initially start with shooters, then you can still run whispers, of course. And then when you start leveling your tyrants, then you can gradually start phasing them into your formation.
okay. I feel you. So the next one would be Beta. Where would you rank him?
Um, for free to play, again, he's still pretty strong. He's really like he's more decent than strong. Um, but for free to play, I'd still put him in the strong category.
Yeah, I agree with that list. And then the next one is Call to Arms Dwight.
Um, hmm. He'd be oh man, for free to play, he's OP. I'd say that. Um, for Wales, he's still pretty decent as well as strong. He's hmm. For now, I'd put him strong, but in front of Alpha. He'd probably be like the close to the top of the line for strong free to play.
Okay. I mean, for me personally, I would put him. I, Actually, I think we could make another tier list, but maybe we'll do that in the future. But for me personally, I think he deserves to be in the OP tier list. I don't think he's strong. I think he's above that actually, especially with his skills, with his trip capacity and everything. Like this guy
Yeah,
is OP.
that like for free to play OP. I would agree. Yeah, that's a it's
Yep.
a tough
We can.
just because of the tiers we have right here. If you wanted to add another tier for like free to play OP or whatever, then yeah. But well,
Let me see if I
put
can
him in
say.
Will. Put him in OP. Nah, put him in OP. He deserves to be up there.
Okay.
Don't even worry.
I
He's
think
yeah.
I think for now we can just distinguish like the OP section as it doesn't matter if they're whales or free to play as long as they're OP they belong there either way. I think we
Yeah.
can just
All right, let's
leave it
do
as
that.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
makes
then
sense.
for the next one is Connie. Where would you rank her?
So Connie is really good if you're gonna spend on Yumiko. Outside of that, I'd put her in decent.
Okay, so for the majority of the players out there that are using this formation, do you really think they have the budget to max out, Yumiko to all the way to like 140?
So that's why I would put her in the decent category. Because outside of like having the chemistry buffs and everything like that, she's not someone you would put in a formation because she can only run Cav as well.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not someone you would replace in your Whisperers that are running melee or your Whispers that are running shooters or your Tyrants in place of Pam, you know?
Yep.
So she'd be more along the decent guideline here.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I was gonna say put her in the strong category because I hate that this formation because like they counter me as a melee, but seeing what you just explained, I think that makes perfect sense because without budget, it's like this formation is basically useless without any form of budget. So the next one is Negan. Where would you
That's
rank him?
regular, right?
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Regular Negan.
Yeah, that's
He
regular.
he he is the strongest free to play. Well, well, now I can't really say that because you have Vengeful. So you can get Vengeful Governor and Ruthless Negan as well in later seasons. For those just starting out, once your clan gets 9,000 prosperity, you need to start buying Negan like he's the only thing in the clan store. He is the best or second best free survivor to have that you get for doing nothing but logging in. Um, so I would put Negan as like OP.
I agree with that. The next one is Carl.
Carl's OP. Carl, well, Carl's OP. That whole formation's OP. If we're being honest, it's a tough formation to get, but currently they're the strongest melee formation in the game, other than um, that new one that just dropped. But no one has the new one except Wales.
Yeah, that's true. So you would rank them below the new formation that just dropped, right? So they would be third.
Completely 100% below,
Okay.
but they're still OP. They're still worth. They're still formidable against other formations that are running shooters and cav.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I
and
feel
they're
you.
a great defensive formation at that too, paired with like the battle truck, um, and maxed out and everything. They're really good in my opinion.